التواصل الفكري بين الحضارات يقوم على أساس التناغم بين الشعوب لتحقيق التطور لها، والكثير من البلدان حاولت تحقيق هذه المعادلة، ودولة الإمارات أثبتت للعالم بأن مقياس تقدم الحضارات يكون بمدى محافظتها على عاداتها وتقاليدها وموروثها لشعبها أو للقاطنين على أرضها. حكاية شعوب سيأخذنا اليوم إلى منتصف قارة آسيا، بلد الخوارزمي والإمام البخاري. يحبون العرب ويعشقون اللغة العربية، فيها 4 مدن تقع على طريق الحرير. حكايتنا اليوم عن أوزباكستان، خلونا نتعرف على علي وليلى ونشوف حكايتهم. وصلنا عند العائلة الأوزباكستانية، خلونا نتعرف عليهم أكثر ونتعرف على عادات استقبال الضيف عندهم.
Thank you very much for coming. It's a big pleasure seeing you here. That's my family, my son, daughter, and wife, Lilian.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I was attracted by the way you served the tea to me. Like it's kind of different than usual. Can you explain it to me? Is it like a Uzbekistani tradition?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it has a very big background and the history of drinking the tea, because first of all, it's kind of humidifying and you know, calming down during the hot summer period. Our temperature goes up to 40-45 degrees as well in summer. So the way we serve the tea is the first thing when we meet our guests, and we do it in small portions.
Okay.
So the tea comes down quickly.
Okay.
And then time to time we put the tea again and again.
As you mentioned, you serve the tea in small portions. Is there a reason for that?
Of course, there is a reason for that. Since the Uzbekistan people love tea, we serve usually black tea, green tea, and there is a kind of ritual for that. Whenever a guest is coming to our house, first thing we have to do is to sit him far from the entrance. And there is a reason also for that. Because the far from the entrance the guests sit, the longer he stays in our house.
So, okay. So there is an idea of keeping him away from the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the owner of the house usually sit close to the exit, to the entrance. Usually it's woman, because she needs to bring every time the tea, so the cups are always full with tea. But the interesting thing about our nation, about Uzbek people that you mentioned is tea. First of all, yes, we don't use cups, we use pialas. We call it pialas.
Pialas.
Yes,
Okay.
this is round-shaped cups which allow us to put small amount of tea. First of all, to show respect to the guest. The less amount we put of tea, the more chances of you coming back to me asking for more.
Okay.
And I will have a chance to show you my respect, to put you more tea and more tea. You know, this is the meaning.
So this is the meaning, is like when I come and ask for more and then you serve it back,
I will show you my respect.
You'll show me respect. You reminded me, like, we have a similar habit here in the UAE. While we serve the coffee to the guest, we try like to pour as much, less as possible than like serving it full. So there is a lot of, similar traditions that we share between Uzbekistan and the UAE.
So true.
Yeah, and I was amazed by this table, like so many kinds of food. Thank you so much for your generosity. And I noticed this type of bread, and I felt like it's from Uzbekistan, like it's Uzbekistani bread. So if you can tell me about it.
Yes, you mentioned it's right. This is traditional Uzbek bread. On this table we have just 2 types, katlama and patir.
Katlama and
Patir.
patir.
So, but if you go to Uzbekistan, you will notice that each region in Uzbekistan have its own bread, have its own recipes.
Okay.
And all of them are delicious, believe
All of
me.
them. Yeah. They
The
look like delicious.
Yes,
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
And the one of them, which I like the most, and it's popular around the world, is Samarkand known.
Samarkand. It's a type of bread?
It's a type of bread from the ancient city of Samarkand. If you allow me to name the year of establishment of this city, you will understand how ancient it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It is 742 years before our century.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So, yes, blended traditions, of course, gave us the results. And the naan, which I'm talking about, Samarkand naan, not only tasty, but also can given as a gift, and it can stay for 3 years, fresh.
The bread can stay for 3 years?
Yes, this is why it's popular.
All right. Okay, so you told me like there is lots of types of bread, and it depends on the region.
Right.
So, for example, each region can have its own type of bread, or
Yes. Yes. But because this is in tradition of Uzbeki people, on the table there must be always bread. Whenever we eat, whenever we greet our guests, always bread is there. We have even one myth, one tale, which is a very wise tale. I tell it to my kids also. There is a family in Uzbekistan, husband and wife, 2 kids, their mother and father. And they sit at the table and always having 6 nuns at the tables.
And Brother Ali, I would love to ask you, I saw a lot of accessories around your house, which I really loved, which it seemed like it's part of your tradition.
Yeah, exactly. So I would like to mention one of the drums. That's a very national music instrument. So we use, musicians, national musicians, they're using it to play different national music. And also Dumba, right? Dumbra, that's kind of a guitar, but it's not guitar.
It's not guitar, yeah. All right.
But it's a national one as well.
أعزائي المشاهدين، تعرفنا على تفاصيل استقبال الضيف عند أهل أوزباكستان، وتعرفنا كيف التفاصيل في استقبال الضيف عندهم مهمة ودقيقة، وش كثر الضيف عندهم شيء مهم ويقدر بشكل كبير.
One of my hobbies, I have many hobbies, and one of them is painting. I do drawing, I do painting with oil, with watercolors. And how did I start it? When I was a kid, at 9 years old, I met a street painter, and I was just amazed how nice he's doing it, how well he's working with his brush. So I decided that's what I want to do, and I came home and I asked my father to buy me colors, and I started to draw. Of course, I did not continue with the painting, and it left as my hobby, so whenever I have free time, I usually draw. So every time I'm walking down the streets in Sharjah, it reminds me home, Uzbekistan. Why? Because as it's known, Sharjah is the city of 1,000 minarets. So we are, we have lots of minarets, we have lots of beautiful mosques in Uzbekistan, especially in ancient cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva. So that really inspires me, and that's why I choose to draw Al-Nur Masjid this time. I find it very beautiful. My older daughter, Taisia, she started to show her talent at the age of 4. She was drawing not like any other kid. And when I gave her also oil painting, surprisingly, she drew me a beautiful picture. I asked her to draw more and more and more. And at the moment, she is doing so well and even had a show in Uzbekistan, TV show, where they showed to the people of Uzbekistan the talent of Taisia, her pictures, her drawings, and yes, she is talented. Usually for my paintings, I'm using different materials. I love painting on canvases. I love using oil paints, acrylic paints, sometimes pencils, sometimes watercolors. It depends on my inspiration, my mood, what I want to express on my paintings.
This drawing is a traditional Uzbekistan wedding. It was inspired by the country which I was from, which is Uzbekistan. They usually dance, they play drum-like instruments, and they have horns that play all over the city so everyone knows that there's a wedding. I chose this color because it's beautiful and bright, and our Uzbekistan ladies are wearing it as a tradition. And the traditional dress is called Hanan Atlas. There is also green, black, light blue, brown, and these are all traditional colors and patterns are quite interesting for Uzbekistan. I am now drawing with the oil-based pencils. I'm trying to learn the paint. So I was drawing these paintings. They are really good in my opinion, and I love them. And I'll be drawing more soon. My mom had been teaching me to paint all my life, and I really love her. I also live in Sharjah, and my mom had me go to a drawing school. So I learned a lot from there, and I really love it.
Brother Ali, the Courage game is very famous in Uzbekistan. It's maybe part of the tradition. So tell me about it.
Yes, it's very commonly used in Central Asian countries like Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. And we always are trying to organize this kind of games just between big events at the beginning, like celebrations of a wedding or Nowruz, the New Year for Central Asian countries.
Yeah, so do they play it in certain occasions?
Yes, well, just on the big events,
Yeah.
like I mentioned on wedding, or let's say any big holidays or celebrations, they also do this.
But I believe it's old tradition, so it's been there like since many years ago, right?
Yeah, well, the roots are going for more than 3,500 years.
3,500, wow, wow. What are the rules of the game? Like it includes how many person?
2 person.
2.
So you and the opponent, I can actually, show because still we're practicing.
Yeah, yeah.
So the opponent, I mean both of the opponents, they hold the belt.
Okay.
And they are trying to throw the opponent to the back using more than 360 ways. And the main target is to put the opponent on the back.
On his back?
Yes, on his back.
Throw him on his back, but
That's
you mentioned there is
360 ways of doing it.
There is 360 ways of throwing your opponent. So
that's right.
You just do one of these ways and you can just win the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Well, if you do it with a full power, force, and speed, and you do it in the right way, that's called halal.
Halal.
When you do a throw called halal, you win the game. If you throw an opponent which is close to halal, let's say not on his back, but let's say on the shoulder, then you got Jan Bosch. Jan Bosch is, you have to do 2 Jan Bosch to win the game.
To win the game. So
yes,
2 young
exactly.
Bosches gives you the halal.
1 halal, exactly.
Which is the halal, which means the winning.
Yes, exactly.
So it's similar to points, like for example, similar to points.
That's right.
But you know, like many countries have these type of games, but what's the difference of this courage from the other games?
I would say the difference is very close to wrestling.
It's close
like
to wrestling,
classic wrestling
exactly.
or jiu-jitsu or kudo.
Yeah.
But the main difference is you are not allowed to touch the trousers, and you cannot grab the legs.
You cannot.
So you have to use more power.
Yeah.
It will take more power to throw your opponent.
Exactly. So the only way is grabbing your opponent by his towel or the thing on his waist.
Yes, exactly. And you can do the sweeps, so which is very, very close to jiu-jitsu and judo. Yeah.
But of course, holding your opponent by his towel takes a lot power, which is harder than the other games.
Exactly.
Good. But is there a uniform for it? Like while practicing or while playing it, is there a uniform for it?
Well, usually you use a very wide comfort trousers, like a training trousers.
Yeah.
And then we use mainly towels to hold the person, to hold the opponent. Yeah. And that's it. It's very simple. Because the game came from the nation. So I mean.
Exactly. Exactly. And I noticed this thing on your waist. You can tell me about it. So this is what they use in the match, or is it?
Yeah, I mean that's a very traditional Uzbek material.
Okay.
And yes, we very commonly using this, you know, when playing courage.
Yeah. And you still until now you just still practice it.
Yes. Trying to.
So Brother Ali, the camel racing is a very traditional race in UAE. And until now, the government makes competitions for camel racing in order to keep this tradition alive and to teach the kids about it. So do you have such thing for the courage game back in Uzbekistan?
Yes, for sure. Even though it's like a national game, but it's already went up, I think, to an official sport. While as of now, it is between Central Asian countries. But yes, we do competitions between the cities, between different schools, and it goes up to international level between the countries as well.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. And what about you? Do you practice it on daily basis, weekly basis? Tell me.
Well, I'm trying to do it on a daily basis, but so far short of time, so at least, you know, once in a weekend.
But good thing you still practice it and keep it alive.
Yes, exactly.
What about you, Tamer? Do you love to play courage?
Yes, and it's letting me spend more time with my dad. And it's about like getting each other on a back. Yeah. And also, I love that game and I love to play that game with my dad.
That's very nice. That's very nice. This game will make you so powerful. All right? So it's very cool. It's very cool that you keep this game alive and you just teach it to your son, and I really love it.
Thank you. Thanks.
أعزائي المشاهدين، وصلنا للجانب الخيري والإنساني للعائلة الأوزبكستانية. خلونا نتعرف عليه أكثر. Mr. Ali, Ms. Lilia, you have been doing a lot of humanitarian work and charity work. Tell us more about that.
Yes, for sure. As a tradition, you know, for Uzbek nation, people, they help each other.
Yes.
So who is in need, and obviously, you know, we are trying our best as well to support and help not only each other, but, you know, other, you know, neighbors and neighboring countries. We've done few charities, and I think we've done comparatively a small amount of work, but we're trying our best to increase our contribution to the nation.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us more, like, what are the details of the work you did? Like, was it in Uzbekistan or was it here?
Well, yes, it was back in Uzbekistan. We were gathering a medication, so we were actually organizing the fund to support to buy the medicine who is in need specifically for the cancer center back in Tashkent. That's the capital of Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
And we also were organizing the charity for orphan houses.
Nice.
Also back in Uzbekistan.
Also back in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
A lot of people who do this great and good work, they get influenced by like someone, or they get influenced by something. So what were your motive like when you started doing this type of work?
Well, yes, of course you are right. People are influenced by some example.
Yeah.
For me, the best example was the country I grew in. The thing is that traditionally, Uzbekistan, it's not just people, it's not just a stranger, it's not just a neighbor. We all a big family.
Yes.
And if somebody needs help, you need to help. If you cook some dish, you need to bring to your neighbors, to treat them well, to show them your respect. This is in tradition of Uzbekistan. And of course, the first experience of charity, of help, I remember, was with my grandparents. They used to help people in need, and that was my very first example and memory. Of course, then I saw my parents helping everybody, and then now I'm helping, but I'm a little bit shy to talk about that because, as my father used to say, when you do a good deal, just throw it into the water and forget about it.
Exactly.
And that's, I don't know. But now I'm trying to show the example to my kids also. Very often I'm showing them Her Highness Sheikh Jawahir Al-Qasmi, and I explain them that look at this respectful person. She helps a lot. She does lots of humanitarian job, and this is good deal. This what I find very, very similar to our traditions.
Yeah.
Here I feel myself like home, away home. When I came here, that was really surprised for me that Arab community, they are same like Uzbek community. They very respectful, they are very friendly. They give the hand of help to anyone.
Yeah.
We have lots of cases when local people, Arabs,
Yeah.
helped us, even didn't know us, but they helped.
Exactly.
One of the case, you want to tell a story when we're stuck in the desert?
Yeah, exactly. So we were just arranging the weekend, normal weekend with our family. So we went to Al-Qudra Lakes with our family, 4x4. But somehow I wasn't really experienced, in driving in the desert.
Yeah.
So we got stuck on the way back. So it was no one. It was already going to the night, so
and we were
dark.
so scared.
But thanks God, one of the car was passing by. He stopped, and local citizen. He went up and he asked if we need help, and of course, we were really grateful that he was passing by. Otherwise, we were ended up by getting nowhere.
Yeah.
And long story short, so we end up, he spent roughly around 3 to 4 hours because he didn't have the metal rope to connect the cars. So he went back to the nearest EPCO station, came back, we managed, to take the car out. But really it was showing a big heart and yes, the readiness to help people.
Yes.
Exactly. Sometimes when this situation happens, it gives us a big push or a big motive, to start helping others. And the feeling is great when you give someone or do to someone. That's why some people, they mention that when you help others or when you do charity or humanitarian work in any sort of kind, it helps you before it helps others. It influences yourselves, it gives you peace, and it gives you a great feeling before that gives to other. So did that happen with you guys? How was doing this type of work influence yourselves?
Well, I completely agree with you. This is so true.
Yeah.
The feeling when you see happy faces.
Exactly.
Of those mothers who couldn't afford, let's say, those medicine.
Yeah.
The faces of children when you bring them toys or making some kids show.
Yeah.
For the moment, they forget that they are sick.
Yeah.
For the moment, mothers forget that they cannot afford the medicine, and they become so happy, and you feel so happy.
Exactly.
And I believe that this happiness, which you share with them, bring them eventually to the good results, bring them eventually to the better treatment,
Yeah.
and to normal life. And that's what makes us human, first of all.
Exactly.
And that's what makes me personally feel good.
That's very good. That's very good.
And just to add, well, when you do the charity, when you help others, well, yes, you go into your life routine, you go to work, you come back, yes, you take care of your family members, but when you help other people, then it gives you the meaning.
Exactly.
It gives you the value.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I fully agree with you.
Exactly. That's why some people say, like, when I do something to others, I don't want thank you from you. The smile on your face is like
True.
all that I need, and that's totally enough for me.
Exactly. And by living here in UAE for past 17 years, I believe,
Wow.
roughly around 17 years, for me personally, I believe that, you know, it's my second home, and we want to give back to this community. Because as of now, UAE gave us everything what we have.
Yeah.
Our 3 kids, they born, they grow up here. So I personally think that now is the time to give back.
And the UAE is proud to have you by doing a lot and
Thank you.
this great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
رياضة الملاكمة من الرياضات المشهورة جدا في أوزباكستان، وبطل قصتنا اليوم محب جدا لهذه الرياضة. خلونا نسأله ونعرف أكثر عن رياضة الملاكمة في أوزباكستان. Brother Ali, I heard that boxing is a very famous sport in Uzbekistan.
Well, you know, there are many big names on boxing from Uzbekistan, boxers, I mean.
Yeah.
So back in 2016, Uzbekistan, they won, I would say, I can't really remember, but 8 or 9 gold and silver medals.
Nice.
And there are big names like Ruslan Chagayev, the heavyweight champion,
Yeah.
Artur Grigoryan, and many more.
Yeah.
And many more.
And I can see you're interested in boxing yourself. You have made yourself a mini gym here at your home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just to keep up
Yeah.
and be in a fit, yes,
Yeah.
I would like sometimes, you know, to release the stress and
Yes,
play
indeed.
the boxing.
Indeed. And how often do you play? Like,
I'm trying as often as I can, but
Yeah.
at least 3 times in a week.
that's nice.
Yeah, and yeah, well, here in UAE as well, I can see, you know, they are focusing on developing the sport.
Exactly.
And they're hosting many events in UFC, in martial arts and boxing as
Yes,
well.
indeed.
So, which is great.
And to practice the boxing, what do you think like the boxer should have?
Well, the most important thing here is, obviously, I mean, you cannot just pick up stamina or, let's say,
Yeah.
the power.
Yeah.
It has to be in a combination. You have to develop all the skills, from stamina to the power and also the technique. So everything is important.
Exactly.
And in order to keep up the good level, you have to practice all the time. You have to train.
Exactly, exactly. So have you been like training boxing since a long time or recently or?
Yes, well, you know, as I remember myself, from 16 and above, almost every boy, he wants and he would like to join any boxing school back in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
So I did the same.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
from when I was young and when I had more time, obviously, you know, I was playing every day.
Yeah.
But now, you know, I have
Yeah.
family, but I'm still trying to
Yeah.
keep up.
And I've heard in Uzbekistan, young kids or people who train for boxing, you know, run through the mountains and, you know, train for boxing in the mountains. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I came up from I was raised in Tashkent, which is the capital.
Yeah.
And 100 kilometers from Tashkent, we have high-rise mountains.
Yeah.
So all professional boxers,
Yeah.
they are actually going there in order to develop the stamina.
Yeah.
So because if you run and train on a high level, I mean like mountains,
Yeah.
obviously, you know, there is less oxygen, so it will develop your stamina naturally.
Yeah. And
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, and maybe this explains why you have a lot of champions from Uzbekistan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but the most important thing is dedication
Yeah, and training
and training.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Uzbekistan is very famous by its delicious and healthy food. So there is variety of dishes in Uzbekistan, but today I decided to cook very traditional food for Uzbekistan. They start the day with plov during the weddings. Any event they use plov. Plov is a very old dish. I mean, the centuries ago there was plov, and even there is a fact that Avicenna, Ibn Sina, was talking about plov and its ingredients and how healthy it is for the body and for them. So there are different types of plov, and my famous one, my favorite, is wedding plov, because they add lots of dry fruits, and it even tastier than usual plov. So yes, this is zirvak. It's basically meat with carrot and with oil. It cooked very well, and now it is a time to add nohat. Here is one more dish which I cooked especially for our guest. It calls manti. Manti is a dumpling with meat, with lamb, with onion, with some fat, and it's very delicious. And for the plov, as I said, we cook special salad. And the way we cut tomato, my friends which are not from Uzbekistan always used to ask me, why do you cut tomato like that? Well, I don't know. Because my grandfather or grandmother taught me like this, my mother did like this. All in Uzbekistan cut tomato for the salad this way.
وصلنا وياكم حق فقرة الوجبة الرئيسية اللي بنتعرف من خلالها مثل ما تشوفون على أهم الأكلات الأوزباكستانية واللي بعض منها يعتبر عريق وله تاريخ قديم. Mr. Ali, Ms. Lilian, thank you so much for your hospitality and for having me with you tonight. And I would like you to tell me more about this amazing food that I'm seeing.
You are mostly welcome. So finally we came to the men's food.
Yes.
And let me just explain you what we have on our table.
Please.
Well, the main food remains all the time.
Yeah.
And specifically in Ramadan, in any Uzbek family, which is called plov.
Plov, yes.
We have different types of plov. Main ingredients remains the same, which is meat, rice, and carrot.
Yeah.
But the combination will even change the color.
Okay.
So now we have kind of a Tashkent style.
Yeah.
Samarkand is more white. Then we got Khorazm, which are different areas in Uzbekistan. So, but anyway, big celebrations like wedding, or let's say if you celebrate the birth of son or of a kid, then definitely every Uzbek family, they do a big portion. I mean, they cook plov, and they cook plov for all the neighbors. So roughly around 300 to 1,000 people.
300 to 1,000
people.
Which is a huge number,
It's a huge number. And obviously, you know, it's a huge amount of carrot, it's a huge amount of rice. So all neighbors, they gather, men, they come and they help to, you know, clean the carrot, to cut the carrot. And then early in the morning, like 5 in the morning usually, they gather, they eat, they do the best wishes. And that's kind of the tradition.
That's very nice. I have seen some video regarding the plov, and in some restaurants in Uzbekistan, and I saw that when they cook this meal, usually they cook it in large portions. Is that correct about this meal?
Yeah, correct. Exactly. So, like I said, you know, it can be up to even 20,000 people.
20,000 people.
Exactly. Yes. And definitely, you know, you have to have a good ability. I mean, capacity and you know, the experience of making the dish was so much,
Yeah.
for so many people.
Miss Lilia, I was trying to recognize this dish and I couldn't, so I thought I have to ask you about it. What's the ingredients? What's inside of it? I was wishing you could tell me.
Oh yes, this is manti, also very traditional Uzbek food.
Yeah.
Ingredients are usually it's a dumplings. Basically, it's a dumplings. And to be honest, I don't know from where it's coming, but I believe that since Uzbekistan was in the middle of the Great Silk Way,
Yeah.
you know that Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva was right on this way. I believe that this dish somehow was taken from China, the Chinese dumplings.
Yeah.
Of course, they are developed in Uzbek way, and now we're using lots of meat over there. We're using fat. We cover it in the pastry, and we steam it. And
Yeah.
please do try. This is very delicious.
I will. I will. And since we mentioned the Silk Way, Mr. Ali, I wanted to ask you, how did the Silk Way have the effect on Uzbekistan? I mean, does it have much effect on the traditions, on the culture? And if you can tell me about it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Uzbekistan was affected by many civilizations, I would say.
Yes.
Starting from Greek, then moving on to Arab culture, and then ending up by Tatars invasion back in the history. So, but anyway, Central Asia was located strategically in the central part. I mean, between China, which is east, and west, which is Europe.
Exactly.
And all the goods were actually going through the Central Asia.
Yeah.
And my wife, she already mentioned, those major cities like Khiva, Bukhara, Tashkent. So I mean, we still have a lot of mixtures of different nationalities, different traditions. I can't really say that this dish is a pure Uzbek. Well, yes, it came up or kind of brought up, built up by many nations which were coming in. They were putting the they were adding up the inputs, and then we end up having a unique traditions, unique nation, which combined and took a bit of pieces from each and every nation.
Regarding this juice, Miss Leila, I was looking at the color and trying to think what might be the ingredients, and by the color, I believe that there's so many fruits or ingredients used. If you can really tell me about it.
I will. Well, Uzbekistan full of very delicious fruits. We have lots of fruits in Uzbekistan, and people just don't know where to keep them. So we even dry them. So it's very popular. If you boil dried fruits with sugar in Uzbekistan, then it become sherbet or compote.
Okay.
Yes, here I didn't find, unfortunately, dried fruits, so I arranged for you the fresh fruits. This is boiled fresh fruits with sugar. Please do try.
I will. So it's boiled fresh fruits and maybe squeezed, right?
No, just cut it.
It's cut and then boiled and...
Yes, and then boiled, and here we go.
Yeah. I know I'm asking about each dish, but I'm really curious about it. I'm seeing some beautiful colors and beautiful dishes in front of me. And going right there, I believe I'm seeing a piece of art. I believe it's a cake, but it looks like a piece of art. Did you make it yourself?
Well, yes, and I tried to combine here some symbols of Uzbekistan just to show it.
Yeah, I can see the colors maybe, right?
Yes, this is all edible, but still, I mean, this is the fabric, hanatlas. This is pialas, from where we drink the teas, and this is the national patterns of Uzbekistan, showing the cotton. And if you come to Central Asia, you will find only in Uzbekistan the underground.
Yeah.
Each station is different, not equal one. And this one reminds me of one of them, the most beautiful. It calls pahtagor, which means cotton.
Cotton.
Let's try this delicious food. I'm sure you're gonna like it.
All right. I'm very sure as well.
Yeah.
All right. وشي مشاهدينا نكون وصلنا وياكم لنهاية حلقتنا اليوم. أتمنى أنكم تكونون استمتعتوا، وبخليكم أنا وبستمتع بهالأكل.